gets BKB, then he just legitimately does not die this game. Let's just say Lil Pleb is going to have to show us that the Water Boy is going to be the hardest carry of all time in this particular game. But FaZe does now kick off. Yamich starting bottom with this Underlord, playing into the Undying and the Morphling. At the very least, there is not that many Tombstone hitters on the side of Team Secret. It's pretty much only Yamich on this Mirana. Everybody else is kind of terrible into the Tombstone. So LeBron could try to control these team fights using his E-spell in this game.
Yeah, he could, but you also need to make sure that people stay around the Tombstone in some of these fights as well. Like Armel, we've already seen what he can do on the Ember Spirit. He's going to freely be able to move around the team fight whether or not the Tombstone is down. I guess Chrysalis is going to be the only one that's going to have maybe an issue because he also wants to stand still, but if he has a good enough lane, then you know he's going to be able to stand still no matter what. And I don't think Underlord's going to care either because he's going to have a million armor and he's just going to have like insane DR, just the fact that he's being an Underlord this game. So I think they need to abuse the early couple of waves and they need to abuse the early timing with something along the lines of like an early blink from Mobe. Nixa, he likes going Meteor Hammer on a lot of his offlaners, so maybe if he doesn't go that and goes like a early Guardian Greaves, they can maybe group together and start taking some of these towers before they get online for Team Secret. But they need to abuse these early lanes, I think.
So far, the laning phase looking very decent for both of these squads. Mid lane going as expected. Mobe beating out Armel. Now bottom, Boom is finding only now his first couple of CS, but
Radiant's top
not the
tower
hero you look for at level 1, level 2. Takes a little bit of time before this hero starts to find his strength. So,
no
just trying to
Sedge.
No 5 gauntlets. He hasn't caught up to that 33 tech, man. He needs to go into his research.
Yeah, it wasn't watching the stream. That's some insane stuff. I'd love to see it. Underlord is like one of those heroes that I feel like is really underappreciated. I think he's like my second most played hero in Dota. I feel like he really has been a sleeper hero, much like Pugner has been. Like they've just been getting like these micro buffs here and there, like you know a couple of patches in a row, you get a few buffs here and there, and then eventually get to a point where
Radiant's
heroes that you're really good against come back into priority, and you just become this insane meta pick. And I think teams are really starting to cotton on that. Hero is probably one of the most broken spells in all of Dota. The fact that you just have 35% damage reduction against a lot of AD carries just makes you feel basically impossible. And in metas where you're able to just build these auras and do this, it really means that he has a very strong spot in the meta. And also his ultimate, insane. Teamscape has some really cool ways of moving around the map and helping your team out. So I love seeing the boy Underlord up on the big stage.
Right now, he is struggling a little bit in the CS department. We did see that LeBron is doing a phenomenal job of just tracking him, denying creeps in front of his face. So that will delay things. And down bottom, that was closer than it should have been. Closer than it should have been. We'll be able to get the sidestep though at the very last second, and everything's okay.
Oh no. That's also not what you want to see. LeBron tried to salve his boy Little Pleb, salve himself.
He might die first. Yeah, Boom looks like he's going to be the first blood, and he gets brought down. LeBron will claim the kill thanks to the additional decay. Damage doing well. They tip Boom as well. There we go. You don't just inflict physical damage and magical damage. You try to inflict some emotional damage while you're at it.
No brain. Like, dude, there's so many heroes in Dota that just have like the most DM voice lines, like Talentless from Nifs, No Brains from LeBron. Like, man, it's like you just get a kill and then you just hit one of those voice lines and you're like, that feels so good.
Fresh water.
Inflict some. Gotta keep the salt out into the game.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of salt, what's middle, dude? Armel and Mobe. Armel's actually not that far behind. This is very surprising.
No.
Like normally I've seen this Ember Spirit get dumpstered, but this is now the second time that we've seen Armel go into a very unfavorable matchup and come out looking very good. He beat the DP with Ember Spirit, and now he's drawing out practically even against a DK. He's fairly behind on the deny, so the experience goes heavily towards Mobe, but I'm surprised he even has 20 CS to his name at this moment.
Yeah, there's a reason why that basically for a longest time a lot of these teams have been poaching Southeast Asian mid
Radiant's
players.
bottom
These
tower
guys,
is under attack.
they know how to lane dog. That's one thing I will say. Like Southeast Asian players are very, very mechanically gifted, and Armel has been one of those players for a long time too. So glad to see that he's still got everything going for him, especially on heroes that he's played so much. Like even competitively, like Ember Spirit has been one of those heroes that a lot of these players have played a lot in competitive. So him being able to be comfortable on that hero just goes to show that all the time it is all about comfort rather than matchups. Especially in a matchup that's, I don't think is like, it's not
Radiant are
the
scanning.
worst. Like it is definitely DK favorite, but it's not like a Huskar where Ember's like, I have to try and cut this wave underneath tier 2s to even get any CS. So give him an inch and he'll take a mile, Mr. Armel.
Thing for now, and you see him occupying the top of the network charts. A little bit of a missed arrow here, though, going for the combination. What's sad about that is that had Yamich found the correct angle, they would have actually hit Mobe, but Mobe does get the turnaround, goes into the DK form, so it will not be dying anytime soon. The question is, does Alex want to try find the jump onto Armel? He can't. You know why, dude? Because Alex is only level 2 right now on the clockwork. Level 2, 6 minutes into the game. That's not what you want to be seeing right now on the clockwork.
What are you expecting?
Yeah, it's always a little run there. Pretty sure Armel though.
Nice one. He doesn't die here. Mobe doesn't die. Although Yamich might find himself in a bit of a precarious position. Does have beam charges, so should be a-okay. And the presence of LeBron at the soul rip onto Alex also makes sure that the clockwork goes. 6 heroes in the mid lane around the 6-minute mark. You love to see it.
It's party, dude. This is great, and this is exactly what I talked about before we got in the draft. Right? Like I think both these two teams understand that Armel and Mobe are going to be their playmakers for both these two games, both this series. Pardon me. So I think they really understand that, especially when they're on heroes that can utilize power runes, that the 6-minute mark is going to be very, very important. The 8-minute mark is going to be very, very important, because if you let one of these players get a good power rune and they make big rotation with it, that can just tip the scales from it being an even game to being a one-sided game, you know?
Right now, though, after we saw that previous utilization of the Dragon form from Mobe, wasn't able to pressure the tower, but did use it to shore up his CS advantage, starting to handedly beat out this Ember Spirit now. So Ember wants to find more success in this game, might have to start making rotations across the map. Bottom might be a prime place to go, as Low Pleb slowly but surely approaching level 6, highest CS in the game right now. You need to do something to try and kill off this Morphling before he starts hitting the jungle and gets way too big. However, he does have raindrops, so moving in on him with an Ember Spirit does feel like a very difficult task at the moment.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I like what Armel is doing.
We're gonna try this. Oh no, he got up the morph. Never mind, he's fine. You were gonna say about Armel, yeah?
It's always hard to try and kill them all. But I like what Armel is doing. He's cutting the quick waves in between the tier 1 and tier 2 tower, because he knows that he wants to try and make a rotation. So if he ever gives Mobe time to just hit his tower, he's going to lose it, and he doesn't want to lose out on that kind of matchup where they're losing their mid tower. So I like what he's doing. It means that he doesn't have to lose the fight. He gets a lot of the CS, and he still is able to keep his tower alive, because they need to make one of these rotations soon. They're kind of just waiting for a point where they feel like they can kill Little Pleb, because all these lanes are going pretty well here for Ancient Tribe. They're not smashing on their lanes, but they're not getting smashed either. So these first couple of rotations are going to be very, very important, and maybe some item timings as well. Like looking at some level 6s that are going across the map, everyone's feeling pretty good with how things are going. Little Pleb's going for this like early kind of build as well. Like, I mean, the Dragonlance and the Falcon Blade. So it seems like Ancient Tribe might be setting themselves up for a little bit of an early group up.
Seeker wanted to make a bit of a move in the top lane though, as they bring in Yamich. Find the connection for the arrow though. Yamich still hiding in the trees. Oh, Boundless Strike doesn't connect from Chrysalis. So there's no setup available. No ability for them to connect with the arrow. They're gonna still try though. The war spawn coming in, and they follow that up with the arrow. Do they have enough damage for this though? Chrysalis has already used the Boundless Strike. Dude, if they still had Boundless Strike, this would be a dead drop. Sadly, they do not. So that is going to be a Miranda having wasted her time moving to the top lane.
And your brothers are dead.
Feels
to me,
bad,
Finn.
but on the bright side for Team Secret, Boom is still occupying the bottom lane all by himself. The DK had to pop DK form far away from the tower, so actually lose out on that much for having made this rotation, and even though they failed to get the kill.
Yeah, they almost killed Armel though. So I think for Mobe, considering what Armel has been doing recently, he's going to be okay with that. Armel's actually going for a Veil.
Okay.
They're not going
This is
for
a
the...
Southeast Asian build.
Yeah, this is something I haven't seen for a very, very long time. They don't have the craziest amount of magic damage. Like, they have a bit of magic damage coming from Boom, but I mean, it's kind of just him and the Marana, right? Like, they're the only real ones that do the magic damage, so... I mean, maybe they're just going to try and match the pace with the pace, but I still feel like if he just had this matchup, he could scale really, really well with the Ember Spirit, but see how it works out.
I think the idea, because it like increases spell damage in general, more broadly, I think the plan is mostly for Firestorm. Because you're seeing that there's 3 heroes on the enemy team that are all cores that are fairly tanky. Warplane, Clock, Warplane, Snapfire, as well as this DK middle. So if you get higher level into a Firestorm as well as the Veil up, it's a shocking amount of damage that will end up getting dealt out in the fights. I imagine that that's the plan. The only issue is that this build will lack a little bit of lockdown. So it might be going into... The last time I saw this build was actually in Southeast Asia, and I saw they went Veil into Gleipnir for that particular game. And then when you went Veil, Maelstrom, DKB, and you come back to the Gleipnir. So I wonder if Armel will do that. Speaking of Armel, middle, he has to try and run it back because there's a little bit of danger, but he's playing very confidently because he knows he's perfectly safe. He's fine.
Yeah, to be fair as well, now that I think about it, they are lacking on magical damage, so maybe just trying to alleviate some of that pressure for them and make sure they don't get caught out.
Not able to find it just yet, and they don't find it with the side of this either. Morty's gets a rain on top of heaven. Gonna try to bring down Boom, and Boom falling lower and lower should end up dying. Alex inside the power plant with this young monkey as well. If they had enough damage to get this kill, who calls him on? Finally does come out. Well, now escaping away from low play. Mixer, one more right click will kill him. Lamich is the one that gets a double kill for that one instead, as he does have the young cat. The very tail end of the fight. Not just yet either. Arrow misses onto Mobe, but they're still going in. Monkey King getting caught with the Dragon Tail stun as he's on top of the trees. Leaps away to safety. They almost found the arrow connection onto the DK. But because they don't get the kill. But Armel's not done just yet. He came back into this. He doesn't have a safety remnant though. Needs to try and flee. Rocket will catch him. But there's no blink daggers available. No hookshot online. So they cannot keep up with this Ember Spirit. Armel can escape the fight.
Interesting fight. They're not
how long is this engagement gonna last? Arrow with a little bit of stun onto Mobe, but he's way too tanky. Mostly Armel is just way too low on the HP, so he can't like dive forward with the flame guard and hope to get that kill.
Yeah. So that engagement was a nice little setup coming in from Team Secret. This is something I talked about earlier, right? Like teams are really starting to cotton on that is broken. It's actually a really, really insane spell for moving across the map and being able to get extra numbers. And they played that fight really, really well. I thought there was like 5 different times where Armel was going to die, and I was like, no way, dude. I was like, he is 100% dead. And he's able to get away with a small amount of HP. Chrysalis came into that fight as well and got a few kills out of it. Got a kill out of it and got an assist, so it feels pretty good with how this game has started. He's gone for this early diffuser blade, so it seems like that Team Secret have wanted to try and pick up the pace a little bit. They've got this Veil, they're going to be going into a Radiance build on Armel. Chrysalis getting the diffuser blade, knowing that the mana is very, very important for both of these two teams. Puppy's going to get his early drums. Yamich is just going to go for this 4-star so he can continue to fight around. And same thing with Boom, he's just going to build underworld stuff, so he's kind of different, but seems like Ancient Tribe have the same kind of idea, right? Like both of these two teams want to try and fight a little bit earlier, and neither of them really want to try and have this slower farm fest kind of game. It's always interesting when you see these styles clash.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
If they can catch the vision on him, the remnants back at the right time because Clockwork was thinking about the hook shot.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Be able to
attack.
get the connection. There's not the tower. That is the one bright spot, especially for Ancient Tribe, right? You were mentioning they want to play this earlier stuff for both teams. Diffusal blade being built up on the Monkey Cave so they can fight earlier from Secret. But Secret really does struggle to take down towers. That's why you see that Ancient Tribe, they definitely have the ability to do it. That's just having this young DK activate the ultimate. They're gonna try to go for a big initiation onto Armel middle. Can they find the chain disable? Yes, they can. Push back with the claws into the Dragon Tail, into Fire Snap Quickie. equals death. Armel find himself finally going down here. He's come so close so many times. That must just feel very satisfying for Ancient Tribe to finally get that kill.
Nice little initiation from them as well. Being able to find the angle in the extra kill. They have the blink tag up on Mobe as well, and you can already tell that they want to play really, really fast. Like they have some low cooldowns, and the play around with mechanism is up as well for Mixer. So this is just going to be them constantly fighting.
Oh no, Chrysalis! He primal spring into the deep cap. Oh no. This is not what he wanted. Osmond was channeled out by Boom. He's actually going through it. They're going to try and force this fight. Here comes the Underlord. Inside the Moonlight channel. Middle Linus cancels out to 2 and they'll find LeBron very quickly. Try to break down the team close as early as they can.
Has been killed.
While the DK just TPs out in front of them. They find a little bit of revenge, but I think the only purpose for coming to this is to make sure they can clear out this Ancient. So they'll not be able to find adequate revenge for killing off this Monkey King.
They're definitely trying to defend their triangle or their line as it is now being technically called. So we need to make sure that they are getting that gold pumped in their pockets. But you can see how strong the Underlord is now, right? Like he has 1700 HP, he has a mechanism, there's a pipe. Like the issues are still there for Ancient Tribe, but I think they're doing a good job of dealing with the other two cores. Like Armel really hasn't had this kind of snowbally game. He's going for this fail into Radiance build where he's not going to be as tanky as if he went like, you know, Maelstrom into BKB. So he's still going to have some issues in these fights if he ever gets caught out. And Chrysalis is kind of the same, right? He hasn't gone for this much more farmy build. He wanted to go for a little bit more fight with the diffuser blade into the Morphling. So the issues for now for Team Secret could start to kind of compound on them if they keep getting ran by Ancient Tribe, who are just building purely for these next couple of fights, right? Like they're getting the freeze, they got Blink Dagger, they're going to get BKB up on Mobe. They really just want Secret.
This time around, the next help him out. He's allowed to escape some of this burst. He's also triggered out by Chrysalis, unable to kill Alex. Goes back onto the Ember. Ooh, Mixer! Gets the assassination with his Scattle Block before he can get himself away. Now suddenly Boom's the one in danger. Finds that quickly, sends forth the Morphling. No flip, finds the kill. Still trying to chase for more though. Yamich forced into the retreat with Morty's kisses covering the attack potential. They can't really close down the Snapfire either, who fell so low. But two huge core pickups picked up by the Ancient Tribe here. And low play, as well as they're doing on some of these heroes for the side of Team Secret. They finally involve him, they get him some easy gold. And this Morphling is starting to get into some scary territory here. Like later on, it does become a problem for the side of Ancient Tribe to keep him alive. But if he could just come in at the end of the fight when these heroes are already low, he can just keep mopping up and getting this free gold.
Yeah, Armel again just got slightly caught out there. He got surprised by the side of his Syrian Chains combo coming in from Little Pleb. So he wasn't able to throw that final remnant out to try and get away from the scatter blast and got blown up. So him going down is not good for his Radiance timing, which can be quite delayed now. He's got 2100 gold, so he's still a decent ways away even from the Sacred Relic. Needs to be very, very careful of, because Ancient Tribe have already demonstrated that they have enough lockdown to be able to chain him and kill him. So until that comes out, that's when he has to be very, very mindful about how he is playing this map. And unfortunately for Secret, you can see they actually have some of their lockdown. And taking heroes inside of Wukong, something that I talked about with the game as well.
They found Chrysalis! They got him! They found him on top of the tree, Alex. Right there with the hook shot, they bring him down low and they find the kill. Aqua will be coming in from the Underlord, but he's coming alone. With a 2 kills with a Manus, they want to try and peace fine with this young DK. He's not really very low to Puppy and will end up falling to the Impetus shot. At the same time, though, Armel looking to try and chase down this Clockwork. Alex still alive for now. Boom wants to pump the mech to keep this fight going. And it'll be good enough for them to bring down the Clockwork. 2 for 1. Off-laner and support in exchange for a carry. Beautiful chase combo, the arrow as well, connecting onto this Boom. And LeBron finding himself dead here. As Boom set him up, Yamich kept him in place, and Puppy finishes him off. 3 heroes in exchange for just the Monkey King. Team Secret make a big fight back here on the river.
It's so funny to watch between both these two teams who don't really have that much lockdown out of some initial spells, right? You can just see that the Morphling and the Ember Spirit are having 3 times. So Armel, if he's not the one that's getting like instantly 100 to 0 from the Chainstone combination that Ancient Tribe do have, then they kind of do run out of a bit of lockdown for him because they have to set their attention elsewhere. So you can see that Team Secret, they need to make sure they keep one of their cores alive because this Chainstone is very, very strong from Ancient Tribe. But as soon as these fights start to drag out a little bit, you can see that Armel's having a little bit more free time and a little bit more damage being dealt in these fights. And Little Pleb is the exact same. You can see that now he's switched up his build for a much more aggressive kind of build. He's going for this Mantis, he's going to go into the Chrysalis. Wouldn't hate to see him get something along the lines of like a Silver Edge. And this bit is like backline assassinator, where he just walks into the backlines, he finds like the Underlord and he just breaks him into the pieces and
there's a double damage rule on the DK, but he's losing a lot of his HP already. Throwing these Mortis kisses from Mixer will ensure that Puppy can escape the area. I'm now thinking about, oh, the blink forward by Mobe just doing the Sniper Fist. So unfortunately for him, Armel able to zip away in time. So just posturing around this mid area, but nobody finds a kill. Can we quickly talk about this Monkey King as they smoke up on Team Secret? I am not a fan of this itemization. The diffusal into the Echo Saber, like I forgot to talk about it earlier because things have just been happening, but I feel like the diffusal, we haven't seen him fight enough to justify it. Well, he might come now though, as he goes in, onto Morphling though. Answer away from the Syria chain, which one's the one coming out with Farmer Strike, they really want no clear. And now finally, we get to see the difference. Heck, coming in. Shout out to Mixer with the Guardian Tree's heal. Morphling will keep staying alive right now. The Brock might not be as lucky though, eating a lot of emphasis shots from Puppy. Anti on Ancient Tribe, still somehow keeping their distance here. Jumping from all down potentially. 3 kills with Thunder for the Palace. And they haven't been able to kill any of them though. And not Monkey King. Underneath the tier 2 tower. He's losing too much HP. He needs to get out of here. He dies to the waveform of Little Pleb, who gets a double kill for his efforts. And Armel will get hit by the young, big Adapter Strike. Finished off by Mobe with the Dragon Tail Stun. And they should be able to find Boom as well. Adapter Strike cancels out the TP. He's trying to Dark Drift away. But the Water Boy says no. The Water Boy says your life is mine. And that's 3 heroes down for the count. Little Pleb collects them all as they will 4-3 around the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, they've got some big lockdown issues now, Team Secret. You can see that they're trying their best to be able to catch this Morphling. I think they are just... I understand why they want to try and play fast, because I think they realize that if this Morphling gets, you know, even like one more defensive item or even just a tanky item like a Skadi, he's got to be next to possible for them to kill. So they really want to try and get this tempo going and take over the map. But I do agree with you, right? They haven't been able to abuse the item timings they've gone for. Like the Veil as well as the other Diffusal Blade just haven't really been able to come together in a lot of these fights. Boom hasn't really been able to be this tank for them. He's kind of the last one to die most of the time, and just they haven't been able to get kills off the back of him being in these fights with a Pit of Malice. And yeah, Team Secret, I think there's a lot of these starting to lose control of this game. They are ahead when it comes to the net reserve, but I think it's more so the fact that this Morphling carry is going to get very, very hard to deal with. He's going to have a Silver Edge coming out soon. He's going to go this Ag Scepter build, meaning that the Monkey King really can't do much. Same with the Ember Spirit, losing a lot of that attack speed and giving that towards the Morphling is going to be very, very scary. So Ancient Tribe, I think they've got themselves in a good spot, and kind of echoing what you said, right? Like they just haven't been able to deal with the Diffuser Blade. You can see why he went for it against the Morphling, but it just hasn't been able to get any of that value just yet.
It also means that as this Morphling gets further and further ahead, eventually as Monkey King, without a Maelstrom, a Battle Fury, hell, even a Radiance, you have no farming item. You're gonna start to get left behind as Chrysalis. And unfortunately for them, because they also delayed getting BKB up until now, they get BKB now on the Monkey King, but it doesn't actually have damage. They don't care about him that much. And Ember Spirit didn't go BKB either. So Slider Fist does almost no damage because you get hit with the Breathe Fire first. And then your initiation really is lacking in the output department. And they're going in for a smoke right now. Ancient Tribe, they found Boom. SARS mates, you are very, very dead. He went for the pipe into the GG boots, but neither of them will protect him against the output damage that Little Pleb is dishing out right now. Team Secrets. I think we both like their drop, but some of the itemization, they haven't been able to play to these timings like you mentioned. So we don't feel necessarily the strength of these items just yet. Even this Veil from Armel, he was getting kills, lots of them, before the Veil even came out. So it doesn't feel like it's accelerated his game somewhat. Only feel like it's delayed the pickup of this Radiance.
Yeah, I think maybe I was expecting it's really the item build from Armel that's really kind of thrown me off. I do like it. I like the idea behind it. I think it just kind of doesn't work if Chrysalis goes for this super early game patterns as well, and they're both still having to sit back and farm, you know. So I did like the draft. One thing that I didn't notice was their lack of lockdown. So it is hard for them to do with this morphling. So it is a pretty good morphling in that sense. And Boom just hasn't been able to be that kind of scary, unkillable underwater chase. At time death, maybe once the Guardian Greaves come out, he can be a little more scary, but they're starting to run out of damage right now to deal with this Dragonite, to deal with this morphling. So you have to see something special out of Team Secret.
So I'm kind of surprised by the talent build up from Boom. He went for the bonus armor in this game, and the bonus armor is fairly common on the Underlord, but this feels like a Firestorm game. Like, it's definitely a Firestorm game. DK mid middle, Armel. The Dragon Tail chased him all the way across the map and hit him there. 845 for now. All in their favor though, as 2.38 versus 1.55. I don't know what game the odds makers are watching right now, because I feel that Team Secret are very, very under or behind the 8 ball at this moment in time, but that could still change as the game goes on, as people start to recognize just how well Ancient Tribe are actually doing.
Radiant are
It's only a 62% win probability right now for Ancient Tribe, so there still is plenty of inroads for Team Secret.
That's surprising. Right now, I feel like it's 75 at the moment.
I think it feels a little more worse just because Armel really hasn't been able to hit his stride yet, but he is getting close to some of these items that again is going to allow him to play these fights much like we're seeing Little Pleb play these fights. So I'm not sure if he's going to have the same amount of damage that Little Pleb's going to be able to deal with, but with the three of these heroes, the Undying, the Sapphire, and the Clockwork, Ember's going to be able to deal with them nice and handily, and as long as Chrysalis is doing his job of dealing with the DK, maybe Little Pleb just kind of runs out of this 1v9 angle.
I just need Armel to have both Lincolns as well as BKB to be able to play this game. Otherwise, there's ways to be able to stun him and prevent him from living and just doing his thing in the fight with only one of those items. They do manage to get themselves out of dodge down bottom, as they were coming for a big wrap. Chrysalis doesn't TP out just yet. He's still in the area, but there's no scout potential. They don't throw the... there we go. Rocket goes into the lane, so Chrysalis will still be a little bit safer now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Unfortunately, that does mean that he's not farming though. So this is a couple of wasted waves, potentially a full minute that he's spending on the map, not actually hitting creeps. And he hasn't gone for a farming item, so doesn't have the luxury of quickly just clearing out these camps and just biding his time in that regard.
Both teams are playing very, very tentative right now. I think they understand that if you get qualified to get things to start sticking in his favor.
Trying to make a play out to Mixer's last game. That's holding here. Do they have the claim disabled? Indeed, they should. The young Force Bomb with the Glimmer Cape keeps him alive though. Chrysalis, he will find the Wukong to mark, only connecting onto Alex, however. They do nonetheless find that kill. Keep Armel alive. He's enabled to get back into a safe position, and they kill Alex, and they waste the full duration of the Aegis as well. So it might not feel like a massive grab for Team Secret, but absolutely a huge set of circumstances happen for them in this mid lane.
Bro, Armel gets a Cloak of Flames. What a lucky little bugger. Going with his Radiant build, he's got shards built up as well. The RNG from Lord Gaiden is definitely smiling on Secret, but yeah, I think that fight was definitely pretty big from Secret. The fact that the Aegis got reclaimed as soon as Little Pleb went in, you could see that he was still scared in this game. He still understands that if he goes down, he's kind of all the damage that the Ancient Tribe didn't want to overplay his hand. So fell back, they got the kill there onto Alex. They didn't pop any BKBs, which is a big one. Chrysalis' BKB is going to be very, very important, and Dragon Tail into an illusion from Mobe.
That was huge because it also revealed them. Yeah, that was... They were all smoked. Now they know that they're smoked. That was not supposed to happen from Mobe. Let's see if they
Nature
catch
attend
anybody
us.
else.
Raise
So
no
the real
hand
puppy
in
will show up.
anger.
Might decide to jump on top of it, but this puppy is very unpalatable target. And yeah, they're just gonna leave
Radiant's
the bronze to
bottom
die.
tower
They're like,
is
yeah,
under
this kind of
attack.
sucks. Not a good fight for us.
Well, now they're going to try and Fiends get in the back. They find anyone? Oh, no. Oh, they missed.
Has Bloom been watching Divine Llama replays? Haven't we seen Divine Llama
Radiant
make that
are
exact play
scanning.
with Underlord to the top side of the map at least twice this tournament?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good snipe. Like, you can kind of play this hero, like, globally, and you just be like, I'm just going to be hitting creeps, and then bam, Fiends Gate. And the thing is, it's like,
Dire's middle tower
you
is
see
under
it, much
attack.
like relocate. Like, you see it, and you just go, man, I'm in trouble. Like, because you don't know how many people are going to come through the gate, right? Like, there could be nobody, it could be everybody. So you do need to give it a lot of respect, and especially with these heroes that they like to split push. So I like how Team Secret are trying to utilize that. Ancient Tribe, though, seems like they're more than happy to just sit back and farm a little bit as well. They want to try and get little pleb onto this PCB train. They've got the Ag stepped up now onto Mobe, so he's kind of at all the items that he cares about. Is there anything else coming up for some of these heroes that could be waiting on?
Just what
No, I guess it's really just BKB, which is coming out now for little pleb. So
They have
really
to
what they're
move
waiting
out
on,
of
and they can
this.
smoke again.
Right now, as much as they are doing pretty well in the game, Team Secret are starting to find their items. Not far from the Skadi. I think it's actually finished, the Skadi on the Monkey King. Ember Spirit's gonna have Lincoln Sphere soon. Like this, you found yourself a window of relative strength. You need to abuse it while you have it. Team Secret will be able to get pretty powerful again. I think they dropped really start, even though they went for this early game time, and once you hit the mid and the late game, it really starts to kick off. The initiate onto Puppy, maybe not the best target here. Puppy, I was thinking about setting up for a counter. They're also just happy to waste their time. Gets jumped on, get a game. Maybe a two-slow down, four star forward. Puppy's still alive. Silver kicks us up. They get him with the hook shot. Alex wants this kill, but Alex won't find it.
Your strategy.
With the young usage of the Guardian Greaves, they
Radiant's
jump him
bottom
back.
tower
Alex
has fallen.
gets into the Wukongs and he just gets brought down by Yamich. Oh no, that's not what he wants to do though. He's going to be taking quite a lot of damage. No clip up. BKB jumps forward, won't be able to find the kill. They know there's no more Wukongs to want for this one. Jump in with the Primal Spring. They break onto Chrysalis. They don't find the stun. They're able to Primal Spring away at the last moment. Now the strike sets up for the arrow, but the arrow does not connect from Yamich. It ends up just being a 1-for-1 here. Team Secret still do end up losing Broom, however, even though they got a very nice counter
Dire's
initiation
top
onto the
tower
clock.
is under attack.
Yeah, that was a mega debated. That was really unfortunate there for Alex. He thought he could just get a quick kill on Puppet and then they were able to play that fight from there on out.
Dire's top
But
tower is
Checker in trouble.
I don't know who's in trouble here. Moby gets jumped on, but I don't think he's in trouble. He's fine. Honestly, I thought they were going to maybe set up for a counter there. And
Dire's top tower
what a
is under
TP out
attack.
from LeBron. Living up to his namesake there, getting out at the very last second. Must have them J's on.
Yeah, I'll give Puppy a pass on that one. He's an old man. The reaction times aren't as fast as they used to be. So that's okay. I you know, getting the TPs out of them is just as important here for Secret. They're able to take back over their jungle. They've got a gem now out on Yamich, so they can get rid of any of the vision that's coming up, and they can start to push out all these lanes as well. So yeah, Secret. I feel like in all of these games that we've seen in Western Europe, they're like slowly getting to this point where they're becoming like juggernauts of this tour. They did start a little bumpy, and obviously losing to D2 Hustlers is never what you wanted for Team Secret. They wanted to try and come to this tour, get that 2-0, go all the way 7-0, go all the way back up to Division 1, but they're having to work for it. They're doing a good job right now, but Ancient Tribe, they've still got plenty of items up on the horizon. Little Pleb is massive. They just need to make sure that they're winning these fights and they're getting their initiations properly. Don't go on Puppy anymore. Need to try and catch out Boom, which they can with the Silver Edge, and win those fights from those 4v5s.
So he goes into the fight to zone them away from the Wukong's command. And Team Secret had a very strong zone there. Wukong with Firestorm going. They have to retreat away from the area. They are shielded for now. Roshan is online though. And unfortunately for Team Secret, they did have to commit Wukong's and the BKB on Monkey King for that one. So now we'll see if Ancient Tribes with the BKB returning from Mobe decide to aggress into the pit itself.
Yeah, it was very, very spooky. for Mobay. He was 5 seconds off from having his CKB, but you know, 4-star is pretty broken. Man, I hope that when the patch comes out, this 4-star item just gets absolutely sent to the abyss. It's insane. I don't want to deal with it anymore. Please get rid of it. Yeah, people are like, oh, but you can nullify it. Yeah, nah, nobody's going to nullify dog. The 4-star is too. It is too good. Get it out of my game. But it was, again, you can see how important for both these two teams are the initiations, right? You need to make sure that Mobay is the one that's like getting the blink forward and getting this Dragon Tail and being able to play through his Aghanim Scepter Dragon form. Same thing with Team Secret. They want to try and cap somebody with like a long range arrow, maybe something along the lines of like a Malice is able to get the kill for them. But both of these two teams understand that initiation is so important for how these fights are going to go. Even though that Little Pleb is monstrous, he still needs to make sure that he's utilizing on the edge and to the maximum, because he can get kited out, he can get caught and blown up as well if he doesn't play this properly. And yeah, both these two teams playing on a knife's edge.
Interesting items coming soon though for the side of the Ancient Tribe. Mixer getting close towards BKB. Clockwork very badly wants the Boots of Bearing. And no Pleb finishes off those creep camps. Will have enough gold to pick up the Aghanim Scepter. So their next fight way stronger on the side of Ancient Tribe. The Monkey King doesn't know that this is available, so will not know to play as cautiously with his BKB.
Never refuse gold given.
See what things like to do. He's so strong. Scotty, BKB, Diffusal with the Echo Saber. Now this feels pretty strong. Once he gets, I would prefer Aghanim Smash instead of Refresher, but this is the Monkey King special. You see an arrow connecting now onto the block. 4-star yet again showing its value by keeping his Undying alive. One arrow connects onto both Low Pleb as well as the DK. Low Pleb though, still alive. Going into the straight move. Undying does get brought down, but he buys back instantly. They still have tools from both sides to be able to pursue this fight. Roshan gonna be dealing with those tombstones. So they know that tombstone is down. Secret. That's one team's fight, one less team fight to worry about. I'm concerned though about all these kids. Inside the river, Puppy should die. As that buyback comes back in. They open up space for Puppy to just run back into the fight. A low clip. They want to try and just get down this Monkey King inside the Wukong, but they do not have the damage to do it. They force the buyback onto the Undying and forward in the fight. Oh no, Armel! He went too far forward, but he's still alive somehow. He eventually gets put down. The illusion from Morphling will also tank the arrow. Armel buys back instantly to go back into the fray. He does have a random down. And they succeed in bringing down both supports here. Clockwork lacking buyback, and Dying have already utilized it. And that will give them what they need, the space to take down the Roshan. That was expensive. Now, probably will need to die there. They still get the Aegis.
Yeah, he needs to die, but understands that that when he fights back, he can get an Aegis in his hand, and he's able to play that fight and maybe kill. So Team Secret are really just playing this game on utilizing a lot of their buybacks as well. They got a lot of buybacks out of the side of Ancient Tribe. So you can see that in these fights that Little Pleb, once he morphs into Chrysalis, he really does not have much attack speed. Like it's I know it's a little weird thing to say, but like just morph onto Chrysalis, maybe it might be time for him to build a Linken's. It is something that a lot of people do talk about. I think it was like
Radiant's
a Morphling versus
middle
Terrorblade game
tower
that
is
TB
under attack.
built Linken's against the morph, because you lose 40% status resist and 70 attack speed. Like, it is a lot of attack speed, and that means that the Morphling's able to just kind of stand a man fight inside of Wukong for the longest time, and Chrysalis is able to just stand inside of Wukong's and be a scary threat. Then maybe the side of Ancient Tribe can get these fights going, but Team Secret once again are just showing their experience and showing how they know how to play these team fights, and it's getting hard for these supports, and it's getting hard for Mixer as well, because it doesn't really do much in these fights outside of really punching speed guardian grooves and maybe a cookie every so often.
Oh, doesn't do much right now. So eventually you get level 20, going dataless. Eventually this Snapfire actually becomes one of the highest damage dealing heroes on the map. It is not the case right now though, so Ancient Tribe certainly will have to figure out how to reach that eventual mark before Team Secret starts to take over. But I think one of the issues we're starting to see as time goes on as well is, despite the gold lead, despite the fact that Secret has won so many of these last engagements, they still really struggle with pushing down buildings. Tier 1 tower middle is still up 38 minutes into this game. They're nowhere close to being able to breach the high ground. And Ancient Tribe, yeah, sure, they don't have the best tools to hold the high ground themselves, but if they start a fight, they can still wipe down heroes in a very short span of time unless Team Secret can set up for the initiation.
Dire's top tower is under
And that's
attack.
the thing now for Team Secret is
Radiant's middle tower
who do they
has fallen.
really go on? They can kill the supports, I think is a good start for them because Ancient Tribe are really going to struggle trying to keep people in place once these supports are dead, but I don't think you're killing Little Pleb, and I don't think that you're
Dire's
killing
top
Mobe
tower
either.
is under attack.
Mobe has a Trickster's Cloak now with BKB Manta style. Little Pleb has 1700 HP with a BKB and an axe. Like, these heroes are going to be very, very hard for Secret to kill. So, the question is, do they just try and go for like this backline assassination where Armel's just jumping in and being a nuisance like he always has been on these spirit type heroes? And then you just kind of allow Crystals to just come in with now his shot picked up on the Boundless Strike. We tried some of these heroes and then you deal with DK and the Morphling last. That's the way to go, but I definitely foresee this game going a whole lot longer than what we've got right now. So now this could probably be like a 60-minute plus game.
Oh, the Snow and Fluke Classic. Long game, probably into a best of 3. And they think the big dog on the top. He's still alive, but also item too good. Crystallis though gets off the Wukong's command. No heroes caught inside this as Armel trying to bring down one of these heroes. Don't Pleb in the midst of this lane. He's still fighting for his life. He needs to get the BKB off, and he does. Looking for Puppy, and Puppy somehow still alive at the end of all of this. Low Pleb with BKB will end. Armel pops his own BKB, jumps into the fray, able to bring down the clockwork. And Low Pleb without BKB, he is vulnerable. He is going to die. He walked too far away from the rest of his team. Now he gets brought down as a result. Mixer, he's getting chased right now by Armel and Crystals. But that's the ultimate at BKB. He's actually going to turn onto Armel. Able to get out the kill, taking away the Aegis. Mobe also finds the BKB. Clockwork high back. They're making it happening off the back of the high back. Morty's kisses. They're raining them down. They want Crystals. They want the monkey kicks. And they're going to get him. Puppy in danger as well. Can he get away from the DK? No, he cannot. There will be a 5-snap to ensure that Mobe is on top of him. Sun is there. One more pre-fire and a couple more right clicks. They finally get him. In the meantime, though, we did manage to get the kill onto LeBron elsewhere in the fight. Armel still going for more. He's got himself a double kill. He wants a triple. He wants Mixer, and he's going to get him. It's a whole team wipe for Team Secret. So although they lose their carry, they lose their captain, but they still win the fight.
Is under attack.
Boy, that was a long team fight. And I love how I start to curse like 7 different things within the span of like a minute. I said that Mobe as well as Little Pleb were never going to die. They got a team fight. I said this game was going to go to like 60 plus minutes. Now they're getting a full lane of racks after, you know, being a tight contestant between these two guys. Maybe I should just stop speaking for the rest of the night here, Snare, because I think I'm just cursing literally everybody. That was a sick fight from Secret. They're playing really well and playing around the fact that Little Pleb really needs his BKB and he needs stuff to winning these fights. So if he doesn't have him, he can get
He's just moved before, my friend. He went too far forward last time, and that lost his team the fight. Honestly, in retrospect, when I think back on that fight, during the DKB, if Low Pleb waveforms to the south to join the rest of his team instead of going to the west by the secondary rune spot, I actually think he lives in that fight. But the fact that they could surround him 3/4v1 while Armel is solo zoning the rest of the team, dude, this BKB timing for Armel, because he got it just before that fight started, would probably be perfect. The best item he could have gotten. And we were calling earlier saying that he needs BKB Lincoln to start really commanding these fights, and you get an example of it. He dealt 12,000 damage just at one fight by himself.
Radiant are
yeah, just throwing out remnants, just getting you know, these fights with ratings, gets up to ring for now as well. So it means that he's able to constantly spam these remnants, even pre-Aghanim Scepter. Yeah, Armel, he's doing a bit of heavy lifting this game, and he does a lot of work for Team Secret in a lot of these different games. And he had a bit of a rough start, but now as we get towards the mid to late game, it's definitely becoming the Armel show. And I touched on this, I think, at the start of the game, saying that the scaling's a little bit better for Team Secret. Yeah, more from a hyper carry in the late game, but three of the other heroes really fall off. The Stat by the Clock and the Undying really do fall off in the latter stages. For Secret, all the heroes.
Try to force a fight here. Oh, Secret. They're gonna play out the shot to keep the Marana alive. They will still try to force the fight onto Boom though. The fight combo stolen in by the smoke thing. They really want this Undying. They're not gonna find him though. They will kill him Clockwork. They try to go power. Armel way to the back of the fight. He will put inside the series chains. And the Undying should be following Clock into the grave. He will be activated by Mixer to try and run away here. I'm not sure he'll be allowed to do so. Okay, bounce on top of him. They have the bounce right. They have the series chains. We'll kill him. No blood. No blood. Wait, where are we going? What is happening? He's going way too far forward here on the Morphlings. Overconfidence. To bring down Boom, and yeah, he gets the kill on the Underlord. But that costs his own life and potentially the game because he doesn't have buybacks, Luke.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
Oh,
he
no.
got a little too excited there. He saw the free kill onto Boom, was able to get it.
Radiant's bottom
But
barracks are
the
under
fact that
attack.
he loses his life means that now he's going to be losing another lane of rack. As you said, no buyback on the
Radiant's
Morphling
bottom
means that this
barracks.
Ancient Tribe draft is nothing but tank. Unfortunately for these
Radiant's
tanks, they don't have any
bottom
shells
has
left
fallen.
in them, so they cannot do any more damage. Because the Dragonite just has to TP back home. He's starting to transition some of that damage, but you can see that these fights are really just starting to get to the point now where Team Seeker are outlasting them. They're being able to stay alive during the lockdown windows that they are able to provide. And Ancient Tribes here is just are starting to really fall behind. 24k net worth. This Undying literally just has a holy locket. So like LeBron just cannot do much in these team fights. Doesn't have his level 20 just yet, so he can't even get like that second tombstone down to start these fights. Whereas like you look at Puppy and Yamage, Puppy has, what does he have? He has Boots of Bear and a Hurricane Pike and a Glimmer Cape. Yamage has a Wraith Pact, a Solar Crest and an Iron Disc. Like these supports are just so much more wealthy than what the supports are for Ancient Tribe that yes, their Morphling is strong, but everybody else is kind of just food in these fights, and he needs them to stay alive so he can get these fights going the way that he needs to.
Question, how does Low Pleb actually deal
This'll
damage?
come in
Because
handy.
he has to deal with the Radiance, right? So he has a missed chance to deal with. And he has to deal with Atrophy Aura. And he has to deal with the Wraith Pact. So that's 30% missed damage from the Wraith Pact. Another,
Radiant's
what,
top tower is
35%
under
from
attack.
Atrophy Aura. And then the 17% miss chance from the Radiance. That equals into, let's just quickly do the math here. Feels like 0 damage, Fluke. I feel like it does not.
Yeah, you can see that he has something like he knows that he has to deal with the Underlord
I
first.
fear
And
nothing.
get rid of that Aura, so they can deal damage as well.
For
But
granted.
it's just so hard when like you need to deal with the off laner, the safe laner, and the mid laner all at the same time. So you have to 1v3, well, not 1v3 these carries, but like you need to do so much more damage than what Armel and Crucibles can do in these fights. And it just makes it oh so hard for you, especially when you have like an Undying and a Clockwork who naturally want to get in the middle of these fights, but your Undying is level 15 with not even 5
None of a small
So-
fight started in here.
So your Undying just walks in and dies, and Clockwork is doing his job, but again, just heroes that are naturally in the front line and can't tank all too much, they just go down first, and then it's, you know, all the attention can just easily get sent back to the little pleb.
To give context to what you're saying now about Undying being so low level, after top 16, Clockwork is close to level 17, but the secret support are level 20 and 21 respectively, so much more far. One of those supports gets jumped on right now. It is Puppy, but Puppy with the level 20 talent on the Untouchable. I don't know if any of you are killing him. There's not enough magical burst unless you commit the full Morty's Kisses, which he will take any day of the week with the Glimmer Cape. They're posturing around the area right now. Team Secret would love to get this next Roche, but Ancient Tribe know that if they give this Roche away, they're probably giving away the game as well.
Shadows.
Unfortunately for them though, they can't spend too much time in this little Mexican standoff because Team Secret has 2 lanes of super creep, so somebody has to go home to defend this, and that opens up the map for Team Secret. Maybe make a big move here. Moonlight Shadow committed. Able to find a trap. It is gonna be a very big dragon tail. Yet again though, Puppy gonna initiate the fight. He's still gonna live for quite some time. Alex doesn't have the luxury of untouchable, so he will die. It feels like the last 4 or 5 times that Clockwork has used power power to dive inside of him. Very sad time to do this thing here.
Time to call all
Not even in range is fun, and now Ancient Tribe, they have this so they just go and try and hold out for 30 seconds, or do they have Mary? Just in the last fight, seems.
So more disguises, but this man Ancient Secret to kill Roshan in the fast. They don't win, no play, but he finishes off the Roshan. He does not, he gets the Aegis. Actually got it, what a player. Wukong's command has dropped out now. That would be a difficult command, so it is massive around the spike. And he's still killed. Chrysalis, he's low on HP. He got the cheese. He ate on the box. The fight, but he stays alive. They now turn their attention towards Mobe on the north side of the play. They're taking down the first line from Pro Play. He can't BKB to get that Aegis, but he has no tools to get himself out of this pit. As he dies, Mixer able to TP out at the very least. Okay, forced to buy back. And there's some allies screaming into the base here. Team Secret, they got the job here. They want to end this game right here, right now. Forced to buy back from No Play. There's still 45 though. 5 step quickly, throws forward the illusion. There's going to be the Wukong's command. They're going back onto No Play. They'll stop to be there. It's a searing chains.
Radiant's
Forced
middle
into the base yet again.
Radiant's middle
They're
tower
safe for
has
now.
fallen.
Undying will also respawn. And Team Secret, they had to expend the cheese to keep the money alive. They had to jump away from the Aegis, but there's a double up. 3 heroes stunned up by this, but that might just be doing Mobe. Alex about to die yet again. Mobe doesn't have BKB, so he's gone as well. Still could have doing his best, trying his hardest. And unfortunately, there are limits to what you can do, even as the Water Boy. And looks like Team Secret might have just broken this game wide apart. They go in onto the Braun. Undying is dead. He does fight back. Lil Clip doing his best to try and cut the waves, but he will eventually get caught out for this and killed. BKB in 1 second. He gets it off, maybe. BKB doesn't even need it. He actually has killed him. Armel.
Radiant's middle
Armel
tower
can't
is
fight
under
back
attack.
either. And he goes in with the BKB. Very strong hero. No mana to get home here.
Radiant's middle tower.
Anyway, there's going to be the follow-up. Yamet catches him with the arrow set up by the Founder Strike. And that's a dieback on No Clad. The Ancient is exposed. Team Secret have 4 heroes. And it will not be denied. Game number 1 should almost certainly go the way of Team Secret. They try one more play. Get Rob thrown in. There's actually a lot of damage with the body kisses.
Radiant's
It's not enough.
Ancient is under
They lose
attack.
out on LeBron one more time. And that's going to be that. GG well played as full. Ancient tries throwing the towel. Onto the victory. Towards Team Secret.
That was tight one towards the end there. I think we saw towards the end of that game